Welcome back to Guinea in West Africa. It's a country that two of my friends didn't like very much, but I chose to go here with an open mind. And already now I can tell you that I really liked it. Actually, it's a country that I could easily see myself going back to. Maybe one of the reasons is that I met some local expats through couchsurfing.com. I would have loved to have met some natives here from Guinea, but unfortunately I couldn't find anyone through couchsurfing.com. Maybe it's because few people speak English here in this country where French is the main language. When I left you in the last episode, I just had lunch with the French guy Tim and a couple of his colleagues and decided to go for a walk in the city center. My name is Palabo, and this is the Radio Vagabond podcast.
I've been walking for around 2 hours along the southern coastline of Conakry, and it's a beautiful rocky coastline with a lot of waves, and if you then take a step back, you can see all the garbage that's been dumped along the coastline. Like in the rest of the countries I've been visiting here in West Africa, trash is something you throw wherever you like it. There is no sense of it ruining this beautiful nature that they have, and I saw that in Asia as well, in Bohol and Cebu, the beautiful islands I visited in the Philippines. Trash everywhere, and in Laos along the Mekong River and in many other places they just dump their trash anywhere. I just emptied a big water bottle, but even though there was tons of empty water bottles lying by the side of the road, I couldn't make myself to dump it. It's not like I'm trying to put a halo over my head. It's just it's in my nature that I just don't do that, even though there were trash everywhere. As a Westerner, I can't help thinking it's such a pity that they don't treasure the nature and try to keep it a little bit nice. But I guess they just have other priorities and don't really think that it's a problem. Like I mentioned, I've been walking around 2 hours and I've seen tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people, and I haven't seen a single white person. This is definitely not a place where you see tourists. And compared to the other countries I've visited, I don't get stopped all the time with people trying to sell me stuff or trying to get something out of me, and they just look at me and don't really seem to mind that I'm here. Now I'm going to see if I can find my way back to the hotel. I guess I'm 20 kilometers away from it right now, and the traffic is very heavy right now, and wonder how that's gonna go and how much I'm gonna pay.
This episode is brought to you in part by Hotels25.com. It's a website that helps you find the best prices on hotels and guest houses and hostels around the world. Hotels25.com. Okay, now I'm back at the small hotel, or as it's called, Le Petit Chalet Hotel. And the neighborhood I ended up in when I last spoke to you was actually very nice and more vibrant than where I've been walking so far. There were a lot of markets and there were a few people that stopped me trying to ask if I wanted to change some money or buy something, but most of the time I was just a fly on the wall looking at the life in Conakry. I just checked on my health app on my phone. I walked around 10 kilometers today, 7.5 miles, so I did a lot of walking. At some point, I thought I would get another moto to take me home, and I stopped a guy. His friend was beside us on his scooter, and as we were negotiating the price, out of nowhere, a policeman showed up, and like a ninja, he took the key out of the motorcycle, so he couldn't go anywhere. His friend on his just like whooshed out of the place in a hurry. I don't know what the problem is. If it's illegal to take passengers for money, or what the deal is. He wasn't wearing a helmet, but I'm pretty sure that was not the problem. I don't think it's something they pay a lot of attention to right here. But then they started discussing. I don't know what they said, but I got the impression that my guy was saying, "Oh man, come on, let me go. I was only going for a ride. Please give me the key back." But I couldn't tell for sure. I was there for a couple of minutes and then walked on and found his friend a little bit further down the street. Then we were negotiating price, and I think that he wanted to leave, and that was to my advantage. So he said 50,000, I said 30,000, and then he said okay. I got on the back of his motorcycle, and then we went on the high-speed 4-lane road out of town. They reversed the traffic for going into the city in the morning, and then all 4 lanes out of the city at night. So we were going quite fast. It was, I guess, around 20 kilometers back to the hotel. A lot of the time was on the 4 lane, and then we got onto the smaller roads, and he put his helmet on because the traffic was crazy there. I didn't have a helmet, and as we were zigzagging in between buses and cars and pedestrians and dogs and kids and all the other motorcycles, I thought I really need to hold on here. But then I saw in front of us there were 2 guys, and the guy on the back was holding a windshield to a car sitting on the back of a motorcycle, and they were zigzagging in and out of traffic just as much as we were. I thought, okay, if he can do that, I can definitely be here and hold on to this. It's not so bad. Even though I had to be the one navigating us, I was holding my iPhone and trying to look at Google Maps, telling him where to go left and right. But we managed to do so, and I had a very good day. I must say, Conakry has only been a pleasant surprise up until now. Before we continue, I just want to say a deep, heartfelt thank you to the people who wrote a review in iTunes or your podcast app. This means so much to me. Thank you. Okay, it's day 2 here in Conakry, Guinea, and it's almost 1:30, and I'm meeting one of the locals that I got in contact with through couchsurfing.com, like I did with Tim yesterday. But John is, I think, one of the locals from here, but I guess we'll find out. I don't really know that much about him, but it's the first of 2, maybe 3 meetings that I'm having here today. I still need to hear from one of them. But it's an exciting way to meet local people using couchsurfing and just writing to them and say, hey, do you wanna meet up? Normally people on couchsurfing.com are interested in meeting people from different cultures, so they think it's interesting as well, and so do I.
Hi. John? Yeah.
Hi, John.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Okay.
You managed to find me.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello. I'm Sheriff.
What?
Sheriff.
Sheriff?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Yeah.
So how are you doing?
This is a nice place.
Yeah.
It turns out that Tim brought his friend Sherif. They're both from Sierra Leone. We sit down and have a cold beer.
So now I'm here with John and Sherif, both guys from Sierra Leone. Sherif, you came a few months ago. And John, you came like 8 years ago.
8 years ago, yes. I've been here since 8 years ago.
Why did you come here? Why did you leave Sierra Leone?
I take it moving different countries to see what can I do, because my country is like it's not encouraging for youth, We have so many graduates have been in university, come out, and there's nothing for me to do. And so like I figure, what can I do? And I decided to come to Guinea as a French country, and I'm an Englishman, and say, okay, if I'm in Guinea, I can learn French and see what else can I do.
Oh yeah, the official language in Sierra Leone, that's English?
Yes, it's English. As English, official language is English, and we have Creole, a broken English. Yeah. So like being in Guinea is like a whole new chapter, okay? Because people admire English, and you have a lot of things going, a lot of foreigners coming, and a lot of investment coming, and most like English. So like I have this advantage, like, okay, I speak English. I can try it in Guinea and see what's going on. So like since then I'm here like doing all this thing. And I think it's worth it for me coming here.
Yeah. And now you're fluent in French?
Yeah, I'm fluent in French. Je peux parler quand même le français.
And Creole, but I thought Creole is like a broken...
We have the Creole, the Portuguese.
Like in Guinea-Bissau?
Guinea-Bissau, and we have Creole.
Creole.
Creole is like a broken English, like the Jamaican broken English.
So what does that sound like? Say something in Creole.
Well, I can say anything I want to say. It's it just sounds like we Jamaican they talk and Salomon they talk, you know.
I like that. So what do you do here now?
Presently, since past 4 months, I've been working on scrap metal, HMS. We have a base company in Florida, Miami, which a very energetic lady is running now. And so we're buying the scrap metals, and we're exporting. Yeah, which is very good. Yeah.
So life here is better than it was in Sierra Leone?
Yeah, sure. It's more better. It's more encouraging because you can do what you want. You can explore yourself. Like you're free, you know. No government suppression and all this stuff. Like, but in my country, you know, it's not encouraging for a young man. It's not encouraging for business. Business is not encouraging either. Because you have all this lot of stuff, people coming after you, government coming after you, pay a lot of tax, and there is no business going. You know, youth, no job. 80%, 85% of people are less job, no job.
I hear that in so many places, that young people come out with brilliant university degrees and can't get work, and then they be a taxi driver or doing something random or doing nothing.
Doing nothing. Just like my brother, he has a degree from a university, and he has no job, nothing, you know, and there's no prospect. He's not seeing, where am I going now? No way. The system in Guinea is more encouraging. First of all, you're talking about accommodation.
Yeah, I heard that the rent here in Conakry is extremely expensive.
It's not that extremely expensive to back in my country, okay? Because here I have a single room, a single self-contained room, a parlor and a toilet, which I pay like 50 euros, okay? But in my country, there's no way. I have to pay like 100 euros or so. And I have to find it for more than 4 months to have it.
When I spoke to Tim yesterday, the French guy, he told me some of the rent, and for me as a European, everything is cheaper than it is in my country. But the rent was more expensive. But maybe that's the areas he's looking in.
Yeah, most of Westerners coming here, they look, you know, they have these expensive places to live, okay, with all those access. And, you know, so they may have expensive places. But for me as an African, I only need all these basic stuffs I need. Just a single room, a parlor, maybe a kitchen or a bathroom and all this stuff. You know, and I have one which I pay like 50 euros monthly.
So monthly?
Monthly.
Yeah.
And they take the rent from me monthly, not annually, okay? So like in my country, you have to pay annually, cash.
Whoa!
Annually, you have to pay that cash, okay? And you can't even afford to live alone.
Who can raise that kind of money?
With no job.
With no job.
That's the thing, with no job, no access. Internet access is like shit. Yeah, I buy internet in my country like $1 for 75 megabytes, okay? And here, I buy it for like 70 cents.
Whoa.
70 cents for 250 megabytes.
Oh.
And in my country, I buy $1 for just 75, and here I buy 70 cents for 250, which is all good, and they are more faster internet. Okay, so this is the crap system in my country. I said no, I have to choose something else. Okay,
But why just why exactly Guinea? Couldn't it have been some of the other French-speaking West African countries?
okay. Look, Guinea is more closer to my country. It's like a 350 kilometers drive.
So you can easily go back and visit family.
Yeah. And most of my people, young people like me, they take the advantage to go to Europe. And I think to myself, okay, I'm not the kind of person try to go to Europe to find to see the skyscrapers and do all this stuff. No, I want to make a better life, and I think I have more opportunity in Guinea than finding my way to the Europe. And if I've been to Europe, I have 4 years free, which I'll be doing nothing, just finding myself an accommodation, my paper, working permits, and all this stuff.
And more expensive there
And
as
more
well.
expensive. 4 years, okay? And I've been here 8 years. I mean, I'm not that rich, but I can afford my basic need. Yeah, it's all good for me here.
When I asked John about the political system in the two countries, Sierra Leone and Guinea, he says this.
This is it, the political system in my country, okay? Here, people based on a bit tribal, okay? But they are not into politics. Guineans are not into politics, okay? Because they got a lot going and they have less to do with politics. Okay, so when the time comes, it comes. Okay, and when it's done, it's done. Okay, they have their own thing doing politics, but in my country, it's like 24 hours, 366 days. Okay, 7 days a week, it's all politics. If you need a job, you have to be in the system, the political system. You have to be the party ruling, the political party in power to have all these things stuff for you. So everything in my country is like politics. Doing business, you have to be in politics. Okay, being as a student, a university student, or whatever, you have to be in politics. So this is all about in my system. The system is crap. It's crazy. Yeah, it's not encouraging, you know. So if you don't want to be in the system, there is no way for you. And being in the system is so hard. It's not like that. So it's not encouraging for any young man.
But are there free elections? Is it a democracy, or is it all corrupted and the people in power, they make sure that they stay in power?
Oh, that is it. Everywhere in Africa.
Well, in Senegal, not so much.
Yes, in Senegal, you know, he wanted to be in power.
He wanted to, but the people didn't stand for it. Yeah.
No, but he got 3 times.
No, he wanted to 3 times, but the people, they said, no, you're not going to get that.
Yes, but this is what I just told you, right? You have to be in the system to make it up in life in my country. So once you're in the system, and you will be with the...
And you have friends in high places.
You have friends in high places. So when election came, you have to vote them in because of your interest.
Yeah.
Okay? So like, this is it.
And maybe the very poor people, they don't really care about elections.
They do care about election. They do care about election. But what I'm telling you is that this is the worst thing my country did to our people, okay? It's education. They cut off education from people. They don't give them education. They don't give them internet, so they don't know how it goes. They don't know we're in the 21st century. So they are wicked. They don't know. Those people are back with thinking people. Okay? So in my country, it's like the people doesn't know are more than the people that knows. So election is numbered. So if they are numbered than the ones that know something, then it's always been like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
And presently, there is a high political atmosphere going on in my country because we'll be having an election in the next 5 months or next 3 months. Next 2 months. Next 2 months. Okay, we will be having an election, and there have been 2 political parties since the days of independence, which have been holding on to power. Okay, and now there is something new coming. A new guy with the real talent. He has the country in heart, and he explained all what he wants to do fairly, openly. Okay, this is it, and this is what we got. Only we need a straight administrative to succeed in life. Okay, he explained all this. 1 + 1 is 2. There's no way. He works for UNAIDO for many years. Okay, and he's now back in our country, try to strengthen up things. So like the political thing in my country now is super high. Most people are thinking, okay, you know what? We're tired of these two political parties. Let's try another one. And the ruling party are oppressing, putting pressure on this guy, on this guy not to succeed. So they're doing all kind of stuff to let him fail. Yeah, it's hard.
So what do you think the future is? Is it going to change, or is it going to be more of the same for the next many, many years?
I hope it will change, but there are things we need to put in place, which for me are first education.
Do you see yourself going back?
Yes.
Do you see yourself going into politics?
No. I don't think so. No.
Who wants that?
No. I don't see myself into politics. Yeah.
And I can take anything you can throw at me, and nothing can get me down. Life is looking so bright, the sun is up again. I'm feeling like I could fly. No clouds in my way, no. And I'm living the good life. And I'm living the good life now. I'm living the good life, and nothing can get me down, no.
It's 8 o'clock at night, my last night here in Conakry, and I'm at an Indian restaurant meeting someone from South Africa who's coming to join me for dinner. We also got connected on couchsurfing, and he agreed to meet me and have dinner with me here tonight. And this looks like an amazing place. It actually looks like a restaurant with tablecloth and napkins and everything, and that's somewhat of a rare sight here in Conakry. But at least Nico found a place, and I am starving, and Indian food is just what I want. They're playing Bollywood on the TV in the background, and I'm gonna love this. Tomorrow morning at 5:30, I'm getting picked up to go to the airport, and it's because I'd like to be there at 6 o'clock, 2 hours before my flight, and my flight is at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. But that's 12 hours from now. First, I'm gonna meet Nico.
This is the Radio Vagabond podcast.
Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you.
First time to Guinea, Conakry?
Yeah.
And?
I like it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Bonsoir, madame. Ça va?
This is a cool place.
Well, listen, it's the only Indian restaurant in this whole...
Yeah. And I've been to different places in Conakry, and this actually looks like a restaurant with tablecloth and napkins and everything.
No, listen, you know what? There's a lot of hidden gems. If you know where to go and look for them.
Yeah.
You know, I've been living in this part of the world for over 9 years now.
Yeah.
Between Sierra Leone and yes, so I know both countries very, very well.
Yeah.
I'm Nico. I'm a South African adventure seeker who left my country and came and lived in West Africa. I've been based between Sierra Leone and Guinea for the last 9 years, and I run a diamond evaluation company here in Conakry currently.
How long have you been here in Conakry?
I have been living here for over 3 years now. I left Sierra Leone due to the Ebola crisis. As soon as the borders opened, I left. Via road. Drove from Freetown to Conakry.
Yeah.
Because all the borders were closed at that stage for 3 months. No one in, no one out.
Okay, so were you afraid of being in a country with Ebola?
To be honest with you, the international media made a bigger deal of it than what it actually was. I got phone calls from friends all over the world. God, are you still alive? Are you okay? We are seeing on CNN people are dropping dead everywhere. And I'm like, well, I've not seen these people who are dropping dead anywhere. We are relaxed. But it did a lot of, it did a lot more damage to Sierra Leone than just the medical side of it. Business-wise, a lot of people went bankrupt.
Well, and all the Western African countries, they suffered from it. I spoke to some people that run a hotel in Gambia, even though there were no Ebola there, but people just stayed away.
No, but this is why I said the international media a lot of times do a lot more harm than good, because it's bad reporting. They don't have their facts straight. It's one thing sitting over there and hearing what's happening over here and then trying to take something to spin it to make it sensational so your ratings go up and your viewers, more people view your channel, then your ratings go up, and it's rubbish.
And so it's fake news.
It's fake news, yes.
It's real fake news. What kind of country is this that makes you stay?
This is the kind of country where opportunists can make a lot of money if you actually have the balls, number one, and the patience to do it. When I left South Africa, I left mainly because I could not find a job because of my color. Yeah, I know this sounds very weird. I'm white and I could not find a job. Well, at that stage, it was this whole black empowerment thing.
Are you from the Western Cape?
I'm from the Western Cape, yes.
Which is predominantly white.
Predominantly white, but things started changing there at one stage, but it's now getting more or less back to normal. But anyway, I couldn't find a job, so I left. I went to Antwerp. I studied at HDR. I got a diploma in diamond evaluation. I went to Sierra Leone and I actually scratched out a living by myself. I built a business from the ground up. And I can promise you it was not always easy. There were some really, really hard, rough times.
And learning by doing.
Oh God, yes, it was. This was a complete and utter learning experience. You have to sometimes lower your standards of how you will do things, and sometimes you have to forget about your morals you got taught as well. It was a complete and utter. When I first came to Conakry, the first time I came here was about 7 years ago, and it was a complete and utter culture clash. I didn't speak a word of French, and my French still is not very good, but still somehow I do manage to actually make a living here without speaking very, very good French. It's not for everyone. It's not a tourist destination, although it is actually a shame.
Yeah. I saw when I spoke to the French guy yesterday, Tim. He showed me some pictures. He had some video of some beautiful drone shots of waterfalls and beautiful nature. And
yes,
but then he said there's hardly any tourists here.
They just don't want to come here because the place has got a bad rep. You have to understand.
But it's an undiscovered jewel that talking about diamonds, and
I can show you photos of a place called Bel Air. I spent New Year's there, and it's the most untouched beach. I mean, most of the beaches here, because the locals don't go to the beaches because most of them can't swim. Apparently, they're not very fond of the water. Water is for bathing and drinking, not for to go and swim in it. And it's there's also the learning thing you're talking about. You have to remember, most of these people here are uneducated, Even if you look at high-ranking government officials, I mean, some of them are not educated. There's nothing between their ears. But they are in a high-ranking position and they have to make strategic decisions for the country every day. Great example, the EU gave...
There's more food coming. We should probably start eating and eat some more and talk some less.
No problem. Thank you, Mukesh. The EU gave them funding to build roads. and they were specifically supposed to build the road from Pamalap, which is the border between here and Sierra Leone, to Conakry. That was about 8 years ago, and that road up to today does not really resemble a road.
No.
Although if you go to the Sierra Leonean side, they actually did use their EU money to build the road, because there is a proper tar highway going from their border side to their capital.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, corruption is also, it's a very big problem, yeah. And then healthcare, we won't go down that road. Don't get sick here.
No.
You do not want to get sick here. There is no decent healthcare here.
Has that ever happened to you in your time here?
I have had malaria more times than I care to remember. I've had typhoid, I've had cholera, I've had Lassa fever in Sierra Leone.
What did you do?
Bad luck.
But how did you? What did you do to cure it? Did you go back to?
Lassa fever, I got flown out from Freetown to Accra because they didn't know what to do with me in Freetown. I almost died. I ended up, luckily I've got international health insurance, which actually does cover this kind of crazy shit. And yeah, I've got flown out to Accra, and I spent about 2 months in hospital there, recuperating. Lassa fever, by the way, is a very close relative of the Ebola virus. But there is luckily a vaccine for it, which is fairly effective. Though you still need to go in every 2 weeks to just do a check that it is really gone. Yeah. And also no sex for 3 months, apparently. That's also not enough. I'm not quite sure where that fits in with the whole you are cured kind of part of it, but no sex for 3 months. But you know what, it also, you have to take the good with the bad. You know, I've never had a dull moment here. Every day is a new adventure. And no day is like the other day, you know, work-wise, yeah, I don't have a 9 to 5, like, you know, I go to the office every morning, I do I work for myself. If I want to wake up at 11, I wake up at 11. Yeah. If I don't have clients here, great, holiday for 1 week, whatever. You know, it's once you get to know the place and you start getting to know people here, it's actually a pretty cool place to live.
Let's eat.
That was it here from Guinea, and my next stop on my African journey will be Ethiopia. But that's coming up a little bit later, because for the first time I'm breaking the chronological order of these podcasts, and we'll share some exciting stuff that I just had in the small country Antigua and Barbuda in the Caribbean. That's coming up in a week from now, and on Friday you can get another interview with a guy from the Netherlands who's also traveling full-time with a quest to visit every country in the world. Meet Traveling Tom Tom on Friday. My name is Palabo, and I gotta keep moving. See ya!